ever forced to go to church?
This guy.
Because
He doesn't go to church at all. I'm
No.
telling you.
No. Me personally, no. Like from my personal experience, anyways. Because like I come from a Muslim and Christian family, so it's like they kind of allowed us to give us the freedom, and the fact that we're never actually forced to go to church. It's kind of actually made me have my own.
That's a question again.
No, but I'm trying to say but were you forced to go to church? I'm trying to tell you no, because actually I come from two different religions, innit? So like I kind of not because
Where did Muslim come from?
my granddad is a Muslim. That's where Ramazani came from. My granddad is Muslim.
Sasa.
But I'm trying to give you the background first so you understand why I'm not forced to go to church. You understand? So I come from two different religions, right? Muslim and Christianity. So because my parents themselves, they were not forced to go to you need to go to this church or you need to do this, you need to do this. They kind of give us that same freedom as well that they were given growing up. So for me, I was not forced to go to church.
Quick question though. Since she was not really forced any between the two religions, what made you choose Christianity?
Because I felt more connected to Christianity than I did with Muslim.
Is that because you used to go there, or because you never used to go to
Have
the
you
mosque?
ever practiced like anything to be more like?
No. I just that's what I said. I feel more connected to Christianity than Muslim. That's my own preference because they never actually push me. Okay, you need to go. You need to go to a mosque. You need to go and do this. I decided that myself, and I decided to go to church instead of a mosque.
I agree.
It's like that.
Have you been forced to go to church?
Yeah, I said I would. Like when I was younger, 100%. Like my grandparents used to always force us to go to church and stuff like that. So like whether you want to or not, especially them African churches.
Yo. 4 hours, 6 hours in church.
Yo.
Yes, so then African church back at home.
Yeah.
You'll be sleeping, yeah? You wake up, it's still happening.
Only 1 hour is done.
Yo, they just still happening.
They haven't touched preaching yet.
I feel like they don't drink water when they're preaching.
Yo, bro. I'm literally going to sleep here so that time can go quick, yeah? I wake up, they're still going. The only time they'll get up is when the music start playing, but the rest is preaching. Nah, fam. And you can't even say, no, I don't want to go to church today. Oh, I'm here. They'll tell you now, God will who you.
Oh man, I was forced to go to church. My mom is Jehovah's Witness, so we were forced to go to church, whether we liked it or not. Like literally, our week from January to December, it was planned. During the week, we go to school. On Saturdays, Bible study. On Sunday, we have to go to the Kingdom Hall. Then after that, we have to go and knock on people's door. So literally, had no life, and I hated it because I wanted to do things my friends were doing. And when I got to an age where I didn't have to go to church, peace out. I was gone, and I never looked back. But now I do go to church just because I'm grown. And I know about the Bible.
She's born again.
I'm born again, and I've given my life to Christ.
Did your parents ever refuse to give you pocket money because you had free school meals?
Me. I was free school meals, and every time I'm like, Mom, can I have like £5? She'll be like, what for? You receive free school meal. Go and eat in school. And I'm like, Mom, but there is break time in between before you get to like dinner time. I need to buy like sweet or something. But no, she'll say no. And that really used to hurt my feelings. Like, boy, free school meal is not nice, you know.
Nah, it is. I kind of finesse the system,
Really?
They don't really know this though, but it's more like a college. So basically, like, they'll give me like money for food and for college now. But I actually managed to get like what's it called, an application to get like money given to me from college for food. So then basically, so I get like £15 a week from college and to give me for food. But then I'll get like £10 a week from my parents. So I just save that money from my parents and then use the £15 that college gives me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know when you have children, watch out for this stuff.
No,
But that's really good.
For me, like, you guys remember Neto?
Yeah.
Neto. Back in the day.
Yo, never shopping
you might remember that on it. So basically, I used to have like free school meal, yeah, and then I used to get like £10 like for the whole week. Imagine. So I go in Netto because it's cheap back then. Just buy a lot of stuff.
Never shop on that.
Yeah. I would sell candles in school, and then I found the way of how I can actually, because we used to have like 3 dinner halls, right? And then I found the way, because like if you go to one dinner hall, you can actually go to multiple of them. So I'll sell my dinner to somebody, and I go to the next canteen, I'll sell it again, and I'll go and have my own dinner in the other canteen.
Money man.
It's like that.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'll have money for my Netto project, money for my my school dinner, and my own pocket money.
Yeah.
See, once
So,
again, watch
business,
out for
baby.
this type of children.
I'll tell you something that man used to do at college. Yeah, I don't remember if I used to have free school meals or pocket money. I don't remember, but what I remember is that there used to be students at college that would get these vouchers, meal vouchers.
Oh, I was one of them.
Yeah, and then obviously every time you cut the voucher and then you go show the dinner lady, they'll give you food. So this time I saw the guy I used to be spoke whatever, and then he gave me the whole sheet. Right, it was a pink sheet. And what I did, I went to, where was it?
Photoshop, yeah.
Nah.
Scan it.
Yeah, but it's a shop though. Staples.
Mm.
I went to Staples. I went to get the pink paper because it was in pink. I put it into the printer, scanned it, photocopied it. It came out in pink. You get me? So then I got 2 copies now. I got the original and I got the copy. So what I'll do then, I'll cut them out.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to college. I'll get myself a free meal, and then I'll be supplying to people free meals, or I'll be buying. Or say you want to buy a voucher, £2 for a voucher, and then I'll get that money to me.
Hustling from day. Hustling from day.
I was born to be a hustler.
Yeah, man. Them pink papers, bro.
That's interesting. Wow.
Get
Nice.
myself free meal and get free money.
I'm telling you, man.
You got to do what you gotta do.
You have to hustle in this country.
That's it.
For real.
You know,
Yeah,
like this
hustle.
country teach you how to hustle from a young age,
I'm
which
telling
is mad. Like
I'm telling you.
from when you're in year 6 year, you know how to make money.
I'm telling
But
you. Money is there if you know where to look.
that's it. You gotta smaller.
Back to what you said about growing up in a Muslim and a Christian household. Do you feel like not having to choose one actually gave you a better choice or a worse choice because you never actually got to experience the other one?
I feel like when you push something on to somebody, you're not really taking the feelings in like consideration, because you're telling me like, okay, this is what I believe, this is what you need to believe as well. But when you actually give somebody a choice, you can either do this or do this. It's up to you. Then it depends, because like the whole Christianity and Muslim is like, it's a spiritual thing. Now I don't know what's going inside you, but I don't expect you to push that onto me, because the way you feel right now is the way I'm supposed to be feeling. But I feel like it gave me a better choice, because actually I got to follow what I what I wanted to do.
That's interesting.
In terms of you speaking on the fact that you've been taken advantage of as a child by older family members, whether that be uncles, aunties, etc., what exactly would you suggest be done about it, aside from calling the police? Because a lot of the times we find that young children will probably be resentful to a certain individual and therefore know that they can use that as leverage over them and lie about it, which has happened before. What do you suggest be done that's actually realistic, that can be done to combat this problem and this issue for people who are being genuine about the fact that they've been assaulted by older family members?
Right, I like this question, but you know, with someone taking advantage on you sexually is such a very sensitive topic. And in that situation, you know, we can say we'll have like a community service where they can go and speak about their problem. But that do not solve a problem. It's literally like saying somebody is a pedophile and he's just come out of prison, and then you guys put him back in the community where he was around the same child that he abused. That, do you know how it would hurt that child? That would damage that child for life. It's like, what? If somebody can get away with this, I might as well become a murderer, because as soon as I save my time, nothing will happen to me. I feel like, you know, with someone taking advantage of you, the best place to resolve this situation and to put an end from these dirty African uncles and auntie is prison, for them to pay the time for what they did. If they don't pay for the time for what they did, these crimes, they are crimes. These crimes will still carry on happening and happening until when somebody speak up. And the problem with speaking up as well, you're ashamed because you're like, oh, everybody will know that this uncle has tried to move to me, or this uncle has touched me, and then it'll be a topic in our community. But bear in mind, yeah, it only takes one person to speak up, and then the rest, they'll come out
I think
because they're ashamed.
I think just to add on to that as well, it comes down to actually having same conversation or discussion with same people as well, and educating our own community as well, because a lot of our uncles and aunties, they still have that African mindset where they feel like saying things like is appropriate, like saying conversation or saying comment, they can kind of pass them on the slide and it's not an issue or it's just like a joke, you know. But once you start,
ones.
them slow touching, it won't be a problem.
What is it?
No, on the road though.
Yeah. And when they talk to you,
I seen it happen.
they're talking to you like this, yeah. And then after that, yeah.
And then the caressing, you understand?
Yo.
That shit can't run, bro.
But let me ask you this,
Raise your
yeah.
hand, bro.
You said that by sitting down having this talk. Bear in mind, yeah, you're having this talk, and the person you're having that talk about, maybe it's the person who's running the thing. Or the person you're having this talk about, the one you are talking about, is in that room. That will put you in a situation where you won't be comfortable to speak up. Because it's like the person who has committed a crime is looking at you face to face, but they're not paying for it. You're just having a conversation. And then afterward, this person will look at you and be like, you know, and then they will threaten you. These uncles do threaten you. They literally will tell you, if you speak up, that means believe. Like these men, they're smart. When they're doing it, they're not stupid.
I think that's when it comes down to the kind of relationship that you have with your close people in your circle anyways. Because like if I know you, right, properly on that level where I know like Susan will never lie about certain things, and then if you say, oh, this uncle here trying to do this, I'll be like, yo, you know what, they're trying to go and trying to address this kind of issue because I know she won't lie about this kind of particular issue. Let me tell you this,
yeah, but let's think back in the days when we were all young, right? We all grew up around each other. So Morris, Zeno, Penna, me the same age as you guys, yeah. You guys that time, you guys are on your own thing. And I'll come and tell you like, oh my God, Morris, this uncle touched me. You have no power. So what are you going to do? Nothing. Because you yourself have no power to do anything to that uncle. That means all the power I had is literally being taken away from me. And this man has so much power that he can manipulate the whole situation. And nobody's even doing anything about it. But imagine if I want to tell the police. Do you think this man will ever try it? Or another man, do you think another uncle will ever try it? Because the uncle will be like, that little girl, you try it, you end up in prison.
It's true.
But I mean, I see you.
For the two brothers, in terms of course, you two were given each other's punishments in a sense. If one misbehaved, you'd both get punished for it. Do you feel like that brought you closer together, and as a unit, and as brothers and as family, as you got older?
I like this question.
It's a good question, but I don't think it did.
It didn't get us closer, man. It's make us realize that I shouldn't be following my man. He shouldn't be following me, because obviously if I follow him, I'm gonna be in the same situation as him. Kind of thing, you get me? So at the end of the day, just do your own thing. You don't need to follow somebody. You don't need to follow much people. Follow yourself or follow what you think is right for you. But on another level, yeah, cool, brought us together. But in that sense of getting me in trouble because of my stupidness and that, it didn't bring us together. It just made him realize, nah, man, I don't want to be doing what he's doing. For me, anyway.
Nah. I feel like the thing is like, because I got like an older brother that doesn't live us. So like as a younger, like the third youngest brother, you're kind of just looking up to the two oldest. So it's like if you can see like your second oldest, because obviously like the first one's kind of out the picture, but if you can see the second oldest is like he's doing his bad stuff, and that you're getting punished for it as well, you kind of like swayed me away from like having, like staying around him for too much, because like I don't want to start also doing the same kind of behavior, and I'm saying like I don't have start thinking the same way that he does. So I had to take my own path first to go a different route, to actually discover myself first and see like how do I really like think, how do I act, and then whereas like when we came back together, it's like we're together, but we're two different people, but we're still like doing
come
things
on,
as
different
brothers.
kind of vision now.
So like whereas if he's doing something that I don't really like, at least then now I can tell him I don't like what you're doing. Whereas before, if like he was doing something and I was just following him, then it's like we all two
following each
people
other
just doing the same things. Like,
Two
so you can't
stupid
you
people.
can't tell him,
Dumb,
no,
dumb
don't
and
do this
dumber.
when you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, dumb and dumber. That's what it is.
Like the dumb and
Yeah, so at least now, he put himself in a different image where he can actually follow his own instinct and follow his own, what do you call it? Your inner thought. You get me? Then that way, obviously, it in a way, it defines who you are.
Yeah.
It defines who you are, and it doesn't make you feel like, oh, I should be thinking the same way that he's, even though because he's my brother. Nah. We're all two different people out here, man.
Now, having grown up in an African household yourselves, where everything was very biased towards the black community and biased towards the African standards and way of doing things, are you more inclined to following on from that and providing a family or producing a family which is more inclined to African values, or are you now more willing to actually open up and embrace other cultures into your own family personally as you get older?
Interesting.
I am lost.
Nah, I get that question.
I'll explain it a little bit more. So basically, you've all grown up in African households with African values. And of course, in today's topic, we've all discussed what we think was wrong, what we think was right, what they prepared you for, what they didn't prepare you for in an African household. Would you now not be more willing to actually embrace other cultures into your own family in terms of having children with someone from a different culture? Or would you still want to carry on with the culture that you've raised in?
I would say myself as a mother to a child who was born in the UK, and me being born from Africa and growing up here, I would therefore say I would embrace all the cultures, because we are surrounded by people from different countries. In Africa, we are surrounded by like Congolese people, so it's on your own people. Now we like Asian, Chinese, white, all these people from around the world. They all come with different cultures, different beliefs. So I would say I will embrace all the culture whilst bringing my family up and making sure that my family, I bring an open-minded family, a family which is willing to learn, willing to respect other people's culture, even though they don't agree with it or believe it, but as long as they're willing to understand where that person's coming from and why they behave in a certain way or why they do things in a certain way. So definitely I'll embrace all the cultures.
Now just to add on to that, because like in my family we're already branching out anyways. We're not all just sticking to like Tanzania or Congolese. We have Russian in the family, we have Australian, we have Americans, we have Canadians. So we already branched out anyways. So I kind of just have to accept them, their family now anyways. So in a way, I'm kind of embracing all of them because like the same values that you learn from certain culture, be like, oh, okay, that's nice. And the same values or like beliefs that you have as an African, you'd be like, nah, we can't carry that what our parents used to do into this generation now. This is kind of outdated. Saying things like that.
Yeah, sometimes as well, like going around different kind of cultures, and it's like you pick what's beneficial to you or something that might teach you a lesson or might progress you in a way. But sometimes in the African hold, they don't like to see a change from different kind of cultures. They like to be ourselves, just this is what defines us. Don't be bringing that to the household. Don't be bringing that to our household. This is us, and we shouldn't be taking from other people's, because that's what they believe. We need to stick to what we believe. Like I think like once you come out of that household and then you start your own life, then you can decide whether you wanna be you wanna choose from different cultures, which might benefit you and make you grow older. But it doesn't mean that you're gonna have to come bring it to the other house because I already got a fixed belief already. I don't wanna be the same other people. I wanna be my own self. I just want this house to be like a African belief. That's it. Don't bring me white. Don't bring me this, whatever. Nah. We don't want that. We just want to make sure this is just Africa. Know that you are from Africa and this is what we believe in. But if you don't want that, then you can get yourself out. I think it'd be best if you move out the household and then you start your own family and then you can then pass on to your kids. So okay, you know what? Sometimes also it's not just about all of us our African belief, and you know sometimes you can learn from this culture. You can learn from this. So it might be beneficial for you right now or even in the long run. You get me?
Nah, yeah, I agree with what Cyril says too. I'm not gonna lie. There's no point adding on to it because I'll basically be saying the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
In terms of making changes to the family dynamics that you guys grew up in, if you was now to take your parents' place in raising you as a child, what's the one thing that you'd change about the way you was raised by your parents if you was to take their place? Just one thing.
Good question.
Strictly, just one thing.
That's a good question.
The relationship between me and my parents, I would change that because like, I want to be a lot more closer to the point where like they become not just as parents at the same time like somebody who I can actually go to and speak to about certain topics or be comfortable around, you know, expressing myself to them without them being defensive.
Okay. Interesting. One thing I would change is the fact that I wouldn't put my child business out there to the public. I wouldn't sell my child. I won't put my child into the lion's den and then expect my child to come out as a golden child. A son like I'm raising right now, I would never put my child's business there. I'll make sure that whatever happened in my house stays in my household.
There's a saying that it takes a village to raise a child. Now, we've seen that already in terms of the family dynamic of aunties actually being, aunties and uncles actually being of good help to raising a child. Would you then be open to giving your input into raising your siblings' children?
Yeah, you see, when it comes to siblings' children, I won't put too much input. And the reason why I say that, one thing I've realized, especially with my aunties, they're very hypocrites. They're hypocrite people. You know, they'll be telling your mom, you see me, I will let my child do this. You see, my child does not do this. But when that child out here smoking crack, like, you know, if you're gonna be a hypocrite with your children, why am I giving you information about my children? Because you're not giving me the honest truth. I would never put my child's business there. I'll make sure that whatever happened in my house stays in my household.
I would change. So I think the bonding and the closeness with your son or your I'll say your son, because obviously son, we come from an African household where this is to say like what my experience is. Because I know some people they're very close with their parents or whatever like that, but like I would probably put being close to your father or your mother, and then you can just talk about anything, and sometimes you can joke about it. Something don't have to be too serious, and you can just joke about. But when it comes to somebody's parents, but that's a serious talk.
Yeah,
it's just a serious talk. When it comes to banter, they're not gonna laugh with you, man. They're not gonna think that's not even funny kind of thing. Yeah. But at least like you've got that kind of relationship. You've got closeness with your father. So he's joking around this end, but with somebody's parents that I grew up with, serious. If you wanna talk to him, it's only serious. No jokes aside.
Yeah, only serious matters.
Closeness. I think closeness is one of the things I would want to bring into the household. Closeness with the family and with your father.
I would say like be a bit more understanding. I'd say be a bit more lenient in terms of like just being able to do that stuff as a child. Let's say as a teenager, as an example, because I feel like sometimes their parents like to take this role where they have to be very strict with their kids and stuff like that. Where it's like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. because of this, and that. But at the same time, it's like you're still a child at the end of the day. You still want to be able to do things like as a child. So like for example, like from my childhood, it's like it was very difficult to get my dad to accept the fact that I want to go sleep over like my friend's house, or I want to go to like out with my friends to be like past like let's say 9 p.m. and thinking like anything like that, like, what are you doing outside 9 p.m. like you still think you should be in the house.
Bad boy.
So, I feel like obviously I'm not saying that to be too lenient into a fact where like you just every day you're out at night after 9 p.m. you're not in the house, this like you're somewhere else. But I'm saying like at least once in a while let me be a child and like do things with my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like thinking as long as I'm not bringing you problems and stuff like that, at least let me be able to do stuff. The thing whereas like because when you're so strict, now it makes me start like acting my own accord and start being rebellious and start doing things behind your back, which like I don't really want my kids to be doing that stuff.
Jumping out of windows.
So,
Sneaking out.
But they don't want to go get Spider-Man.
Nah, but just to add to what I said as well, like when you actually give your children that freedom,
They don't do things.
they don't turn out to be as bad as you think they will turn out to be, because that most of these people, most of these children who parents are trying to be too strict. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. As soon as they leave that household, as soon as they leave that home, brother, it's a madness.
That's true.
I didn't do this when I was at home.
I didn't do this when I was at home. I didn't do this when I was at home.
Let me do
Just
it.
free. Let me be loose.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and I think for me personally, anyways, if I was to like
It's good and bad at the same time.
yeah, it's good and
Yeah,
it's good and bad. It's good and bad. Like let's say as a parent, like I want to be able to actually have conversation with my kids where I actually listen instead of actually being defensive. Because like in an African household, we have this thing where it's like where you feel like
defensive.
where you feel like because I'm the older,
Yeah.
I know everything.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
They're
you
never
don't know.
wrong.
Yeah, you
They're
understand. You
always
understand. You
right.
understand. You understand. You don't know everything.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
For real,
There's
yeah.
certain topics, there's certain subjects
Tell
that
them, Sweetie.
you're not educated in.
Yeah.
You understand? So you kind of need to step back, listen first.
for a bit.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Mhm.
Listen, and maybe you might actually learn something as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're older. That means you know everything.
you know, parents as well, you can always learn from your children.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true.
Your children go to school, they come with all these other things where you didn't even know that.
Yeah. They'll start bringing, who saw the sun first, me or you?
Nigga, what is
What's got to do with this conversation? So you're trying to say me, okay, I'm gonna accept whatever you say because you saw the sun
saw
before me.
first.
Come on, man.
Nani malkuleta pa
Eh,
dunia.
who, me? I don't know mwezi.
Ilikuwa kuna mshaje bikaba.
Unaona miaka yangu na yako.
These people from. Yo, let's talk serious. Why you giving me age?
Nah, it's really crazy, but on a serious note, guys, thank you so much for coming on my channel. I do appreciate.
chill.
And this topic was quite interesting, and it was very, very interesting to get all of you's insight on what you thought about all these questions. And I hope to see you guys on my channel again. And a massive
100%.
thank you to the cameraman Edgar in the back. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you asking the questions. And I'll catch you guys in my next video.
Cut it out.
Busy.
Hey,
Peace out, man.